and welcome to TWF Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Joey Styles and with Montel Vertadius Porter. And today on Collision or Hit, we will see the TWF heavyweight winnings on stake, when Asuka will fight once again Arrow for the TWF heavyweight winnings. However, Tony Schiavone said we must keep in mind there are some folks that are unhappy with Arrow fighting Asuka once again for the TWF heavyweight winnings. And we know that would be Becky Lynch. Well, you got that right, Tony. At the end of the day, Becky Lynch is unhappy. Becky Lynch is unhappy that she is not fighting Asuka for the TWF heavyweight winnings. And at the end of the day, Arrow is, for this time, doing it again. Now, I can also know that Seth Rollins is unhappy he's not fighting either. But we haven't heard from him since in some time. And will he be the one? And will we hear from him again? We know one thing is Becky Lynch is not happy that she's not fighting Asuka for the TWF heavyweight winnings. And Arrow is. Well, and here comes Arrow. Alright, I got one more. I got one last shot. Come on, stand up. Oh, just lean against the ropes then. And that doesn't work. Come on. Oh, fuck. I mean, this is sad. Anyway, I got one last shot, Arrow says, for the TWF heavyweight winnings against Asuka. And I know you, Becky Lynch, you're most likely hoping that I don't win because you think you should win. You think it should be you. But I know that I got my one last shot against Asuka for the TWF heavyweight winnings, and I'm going to make that shot reckon here today. Well, here comes Asuka, and Asuka knocks Arrow down by mistake. Ah, White Arrow, I hail you great. I understand, Arrow, that you have only one shot to fight me or wrestle me for the TWF heavyweight winnings. And I know that you're going to give it all. You're going to give it your great shot. And I wouldn't. But that's not going to mean anything at the end of the day, Arrow, because I will beat you. And like I said before, no one is ready for Asuka. And no need how many losses that I took. No need how many times I lost. I didn't lose as many times as I won. I came back. And I know you will come back one day. And one day you will be the TWF heavyweight fighter. But today's not going to be that day. Well, Asuka, what if today is today? What if the 6th month, the 28th, 2025 YL is the day that I become the TWF heavyweight fighter? Then what? Then I will shake your hand, but I don't think that's going to happen. This match is for the TWF heavyweight winnings. First, he is Arrow, and she is the TWF heavyweight fighter, the Kaiserin of Tomorrow, Asuka. Well, one first thing you got to keep in mind of Asuka is that she is dangerous, she is harmful, and she can hit you with the strong way. Asuka taking down Arrow with all those blows, Tony Schiavone says. And Asuka is one of those skilled wrestlers that came to WWE in 25th between FYL, came to TWF and 26 between us, YL. And at the end of the day, she's been doing all kind of great things ever since then. And those fists, those strikes, that kick, and down goes Arrow. I can tell you one thing, Joey Styles says, I was still in WWE when Asuka came to WWE. I didn't leave WWE until 27 between YL. So I still knew Asuka, and she was still unbeaten at that time. Well, Montel Mercedes Porter said, Joey Styles, you should know Asuka's on. Her first loss came to the hands of Charlotte Flair in 2008 YL at Wrestle Madness that year. And she never ever, once she took that first loss, no one ever looked at her the same ever again. Arrow right now got slammed by Asuka. What do you mean, Montel Mercedes Porter, that no one looked at Asuka the same after she took that first loss, Tony Schiavone says. A lot of folks do onlook Asuka, even if she lost or she won. And now Arrow body slamming Asuka. This is the now Asuka doll, what Asuka looks like now, and she hasn't shifted that much. Arrow did a neck breaker on Asuka. Arrow did a hip toss on Asuka. And down goes Asuka. Asuka's in a bind now, Tony Schiavone says. Yeah, Joey Styles says, will the Kaiserin of tomorrow end up losing the TWF heavyweight winnings to Arrow? Arrow's going to make a mistake, Montel Mercedes Porter says. His mistake is not to keep up on Asuka and come from the flying rope. Who do you think he was? Jeff Hardy? Flash Funk? Two-Core Scorpio? Montel Mercedes Porter says, oh, the Kaiserin strike. The Kaiserin strike on Arrow, Tony Schiavone said. This is over. It looks like it is over, Joey Styles says. I told you, Montel Mercedes Porter said. Arrow made a mistake. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, and still the TWF heavyweight fighter, Asuka. Well, Asuka is still the TWF heavyweight fighter, and she beat Arrow here today on Collision or Hit. One thing is known for true, that today was not Arrow's day. But that does not make Arrow a loser. I think one day Arrow will be the TWF heavyweight fighter. But I do not think that day will be today, Tony Schiavone says. You got that right, Joey Styles says. I truly believe that Arrow will be the TWF heavyweight fighter one day. We just don't know when that's going to be. The man made a mistake. Tony, Joey, he made a mistake. He had Asuka beat, but instead he wanted to do a high-flying move, high-flying hold from the top steeple, and that's how he ended up losing here today. So no, Arrow made a mistake, and that's why he's not the TWF heavyweight fighter. Montel Mercedes Porter says. All right, Mike. All right, Tony Schiavone says, you got the right to your belief, Montel. All right, take it away now, Mike Today. Thank you, Tony Schiavone and Joey Styles. I'm going to be talking with Asuka here today on Collision or Hit. Asuka, we saw you out there, your match with Arrow for the TWF heavyweight winnings. And there were some folks who didn't think that you would still be the TWF heavyweight fighter at the end of the show. Well, I'm not going to lie. I didn't think I was going to go through, Mike, and I didn't think I was going to win. I mean, Arrow, he's strong, he's mighty, he's a DC South, he's an overgood doer, and I have a lot of honor for him. But at the end of the day, like I said earlier, he was not ready for Asuka. Now, who is going to be my next wrestler, the next fighter, the next overstar that I have to put my TWF heavyweight winnings against? I want to know. Well, we don't really know who you're going to be fighting next, Asuka, for the TWF heavyweight winnings. However, will you be ready for whoever the next one is? I answered your asking thing, and I will answer it. I will always be ready. And everyone else, no one is ready for Asuka. Well, that's my talk with Asuka. The Kaiser Ring of tomorrow, the TWF heavyweight fighter. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Joey Styles. Well, thank you, Mike, today for talking with Asuka here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we have here for Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Joey Styles and Montel Rotadius Porter, we hope you like Collision or Hit. And we'll see you tomorrow for Power or Mike.